All right.
It's gonna break. I don't know what's gonna break again. Or it's gonna fall.
I mean, we are recording.
I've never seen a guy
this
struggle.
whole
It's like my
thing,
dad
so-
trying to set up his podcast, having no idea what he's doing.
Listen, we've been doing this for years. This has never happened. I'm taking the blame here, but coming from you, as if you're Steve Jobs in the tech department.
I tell you what, I've never bounced around from golf course to golf course, but I've never bounced from podcast.
Now I can't hear you. It's muted. I can't hear. I can't hear anything that you guys are saying.
No.
If you guys are
No
talking
way.
right now, this
You can't hear anything.
unbelievable. I can't. I see mouse moving. I can't see.
Hey, sounds good.
All right, welcome back to another episode of the Bob Does Sports Podcast. No Bob today. I don't know who's doing the sports, but no Bob, no Jet. He can't get a connection going.
Well,
It's
he's been
unbelievable.
bouncing in and out of this. This guy's a nightmare.
We're dropping like flies around here, but the four of us are here. Jensen's joining for, I think, the first time on Zoom podcast.
Yeah.
Welcome to the show. Happy to have you here. Gentlemen, a lot going on. Mountain Dew Road Trip Series starts this week. We are about to head out to Missouri. Let's talk about what's going on. How'd you guys like the Dew Road Trip Series? Were you excited about it? How'd you feel like you played?
I feel like it was a lot of fun. Anytime we do these road trips now, I think they're just a lot of fun. You know, it's you get a lot of behind the scenes stuff. You get a lot of travels time with the guys, and you get to play a lot of courses. And Black Desert, I will say, we played a lot of resort style courses. We've been out to Grand Geneva. We've done the whole stuff at Bandon. I think personally, I don't know what you think, FP. You played a lot more resort style courses than I have probably, but to me, I thought Black Desert was unbelievable. I thought it was so cool. The resort, the golf course. And then what I really liked is getting to play some of these smaller spots like Coyote Springs. And what was the place in Mesquite? Canoga?
Castanoga.
Castanoga. I can never say the name. But that place, Conestoga. Those were super cool spots too. So I had a blast. I always love doing the road trips. I think, you know, when you get a good crew of guys going, there really isn't much better. You know, I used to remember when I would work full time, I would like be, you know, circling on the calendar when I had a golf road trip with the fellas, because it was like the one thing that I had like to like get me away from work and out of the, you know, back into a good spot. And now the fact we get to do this for work is pretty fucking awesome. That's like work.
Yeah, I agree 100%. I mean, that's fun. That's a part of the country we haven't been before, kind of that southern Utah into Nevada. I mean, some of us been to Vegas and played some golf, but not like really out there in that high desert. Ball went, you know, a long way. Views were incredible. I think the golf was hit and miss from the group. Some good, some bad.
That's per usual.
But sure, of course. Doesn't matter where we go, it's gonna be the same.
So there were a lot more bad
yeah.
than good, but
we can go to the ends of the earth and it's still gonna be some bad golf in there. But the golf courses were great, went to great places, and we met up with Mountain Dude on our last stop there in Coyote Springs, and that guy was a fucking vibe.
Jet looks like he's in Alcatraz right now. He looks like he is.
Dude.
Yeah, let's get this guy involved. While
Tell
he's
us
here,
where the
huh?
terrorists are, dude.
I am very angry. I'm in the streaming corner here.
Oh my
I am
God.
furious. You guys, you don't see, like, I wish you could see from my angle. You're just every 5 seconds, you're just buffering and it freezes for a second and then it restarts. I know my voice is going to go out. And this is the lowest moment of my career, lower than the fucking steps in Arizona, lower than all the fucking bad picks that you just buffered again, lower than the bad picks I gave, lower than when I slapped a drive inside of the ground at Tesoro. This is the lowest I've been, and I don't know what to do. Like, people don't realize we did a pod yesterday and we had to stop it because my shit wasn't working, and it's driving me nuts. I think you guys are muted again. The second you start talking, I'm not going to be able to
looks like Eric
fucking hear you.
Snowden. You know, it looks like Eric Snowden.
You know what the thing is? I get this
Just
little
in
like,
hiding.
I get this little Wi-Fi thing that pops in when he comes in only. It's never here. And then I've got this like buffering little Wi-Fi signal. And I honestly think now it doesn't exist.
Well, the good news
I think
is
that he needs to do a simple unplug the router,
Yeah.
unplug the router situation.
I think so. He looked like Eric Snowden trying to film from a cave. But the good thing is we were talking about the Mountain Dew series, and Jet was only there for a hot minute anyway, so he wouldn't have been able to weigh in on anything that happened during that trip because he simply was not there. He was there.
He wasn't there for the Mountain Dew portion at all.
He wasn't there at all.
He wasn't there at all.
Not for a round.
J-Bo was there. What did you think of? It was one of your first times in Utah. No.
It was, yeah, my first time in Utah. I actually got to play a couple of rounds out there. I played 1 9-hole. I know we don't like to bring up, Jet doesn't like me to bring up scores unless it's a USGA official signed tournament rules, but I did play with some of the production boys, and I shot a pretty good round out there. But no, it was awesome. I mean, it was one of the cooler places I've ever been. I hit a 330-yard drive out there. Sick. Want to go back, so I'll be out there with my boys someday.
Chicks dig the long ball, Jensen.
Yeah, they sure fucking do. Especially when it's downhill, thinner air, higher elevation.
Sure.
Yeah.
Pitt found something too out there in the desert. You found Jet gave you a swing tip, and you found something in your game. Which, by the way, the last time we played Tick in Virginia, I think it was probably, without a doubt, the best I've seen you play. We played 9 holes together off camera, obviously, but you were putting it together, and the drive looked great. Now, the irons, I know you got to work on a little bit, but you found something out there in the desert.
Yeah, this guy basically just flew out to Utah to give me one tip, and then I'm not sure what else he did, but yeah, I mean, it's been working. So I went out for a bachelor party the other day, played a hell of a lot better. Shot an honest man's 113. Finished every hole except for I didn't finish one, and then I played with the same ball the rest of the time. Honest man's 113. I was getting it in the air, which is like, I just don't want to be duffing balls and thinning them and all that. I just want to get it in the air and just like look like I can competently swing the golf club. And this tip has definitely helped me get closer to that. So I'm certainly not breaking 80 anytime soon, but things are moving in the right direction.
Is it safe to say that we're going to see some pop golf out in Missouri when we go this next week?
Well, I don't know if we have some extra time, for sure, you'll definitely see that. But I don't know if I'm getting involved in any of these.
I'd love to see you play on that Cliffhangers, that new par 3 course.
Yeah,
they got a hole that's right through I don't know if you guys saw it, but that waterfall, like you're hitting through a waterfall, like it's in the middle of the cliffside. It looks unbelievable.
I'm excited for this one.
Yeah, let's get into that. We're heading out this weekend. We're going to Big Cedar Lodge, going to play Paynes Valley and a lot of the courses out there. Gentlemen, and Joe, you set this whole thing up. Why don't you give us a rundown of what we can expect?
Well, I mean, first and foremost, I will say that the people up there, Matt, the director of sales and marketing, and everybody that we've so far encountered, we haven't even been there yet, but has been tremendously hospitable. They are putting us up in like their signature. I think it's like a 6 or 7 bedroom cabin, like a cottage right on the resort for the first 2 nights, which is going to be unbelievable. We're going to have a blast out there. And then just setting up all of our golf, and like they got restaurants, and, on top of that, like we're going to be golfing a ton while we're there, but like have been so kind as to like say, like, if we need to rent a boat, there's a lake that we can go on, and they have an indoor facility with, TrackMans and simulators and all this cool stuff. So it's going to be a blast. I think we're going to have a ton of golf. We're going to be able to experience the whole place. And I'm really excited about it. Now, FP, you probably know more about the actual golf. I think Paynes Valley was designed by Tiger Woods, if I'm not wrong.
I believe that's correct. Yeah, I honestly don't know too much about it. I'm familiar with that course, and I think they have Buffalo
Ridge,
Ozark National, and I think they have 3 par 3 courses. So, yeah, I mean, they've got plenty to offer as far as golf goes, and I think they've got some pretty cool lodging and some scenery and stuff like that. So I've never been to that part of the country, and I think it'll be dope.
What's going on, folks? It's your guy, FP. Big news. I have found the easiest way to earn Bitcoin. It's playing golf. Today's sponsor is the Bitcoin Credit Card by Gemini. You can earn Bitcoin instantly with every purchase. It's simple. You spend money on Uber, delivery, food, gas, groceries, anything, and you earn Bitcoin rewards instantly. And Gemini is hooking up golfers big this summer, giving back an additional 10% on all golf course purchases up to $250 a month through September 30th. Plus, you get 4% back on transportation, 3% back on dining, 2% back on groceries, and 1% back on everything else. Look, we all know I spend a ton of money on Ubers, Uber Eats, and golf, and this is the easiest way to earn Bitcoin without ever having to buy it. And even better, there is no annual fee. To sign up for the Bitcoin credit card, go to gemini.com/BDS, and you're going to get $200 in Bitcoin if you spend $3,000 in the first 90 days on the card. Click on the link below or go to gemini.com/BDS to apply and start earning instantly.
I think I saw initially Good had gone out there. I don't know if it was about a year ago or maybe a little bit longer, and they had posted some stuff. And I just figured, you know, like with the same thing that we did with Bandon, I know FP set up Grand Geneva, like these resorts, they just cater so well to like the whole experience. And like when we're doing a film week, because they have multiple courses, so we can get out on multiple spots, different videos for different courses. They got par 3 courses, they got great amenities. And by the way, it's also going to be the site of our internet invitational, which is coming up in a month, which is going to be tremendous. So we're going to get a nice sneak little peek before we get out there for that, which I think will be very valuable for us, just to have a good idea of the lay of the land and the courses. So I hit them up and I was just like, listen, we'd love to come out and film. And, you know, it's so cool to see, like when we first started, like, and you'd send out a DM or a message to some of these resorts. It was like a hope and a prayer. And now thankfully we're blessed enough that we have, you know, enough of following that a lot of these people are willing to host us. And I'm really excited. And I know, Jensen, you talked about this being on your, what did you say, bucket list?
Yeah,
of golf courses. So we're going to have to get you with a club in your hands at some point out there.
Yeah, this one's on my bucket list. I've played Paynes Valley a few times in PGA Tour 2K. So I know a few of the holes.
Sure. Yeah.
Twilight round with the boys would be special.
Listen, where haven't I played on PGA? I was playing Port Rush the other day.
You're a big Divot Derby guy now. I've been seeing the streams.
Yeah. It's I've been getting in on that game. But I was booking my flight to Big Cedar Lodge. It's not the easiest place to get to. The flights that we got to take to get into an airport that's still an hour away.
Was it SGF?
SGS, Springfield Branson Airport, something like that. And it's kind of difficult. I think, are we renting a car? Because if not, we might need to get a shuttle.
Yeah, we'll rent a car.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
The old Pacifica.
Sure.
Oh, the good old fashioned Pacifica.
But I like that same thing with St. George when we went. I like these places that are kind of up in the cut, because when you get out there, then it's just like it's the same thing. I mean, look how far out Bandon was. I mean, that was a heck of a haul to get out there. But once you're there, it's just special because the golf is just nestled and like away from everybody, and it's just like you see like the area you're in. It's just like completely as it was. You know, it's not like been changed at all. And it gives a cool vibe. I don't know. That's me anyways.
Yeah, we like being out there in the cut until we open up that Postmates app and realize
that's right.
There ain't no McDonald's nearby.
Yep. All fun and games until fucking dinner rolls around.
Yeah.
The troughs have to be filled.
We were at a wedding recently, Joe and I were, and Bob, but this guy came up and gave Joe like $200 worth of $500 worth of McDonald's gift card money. Wow. So I intend on using that at some point during.
I still have a shit ton of those gift cards from before, Joe.
Yeah, I had other ones
in the drum bag. Those have never been used.
Those are probably $200 or $300 as well. FB.
Yeah,
and then Bob got $500 McDonald's gift cards too. So we're gonna really be fat. But the thing is, I can't do it right now. I know FP, you're slimming down. You look great. I saw you today and yesterday for the first time in like a week, almost a week and a half. You look really good. I've been trying to go on a fucking diet plan, which we had talked about. So maybe the McDonald's cards get pushed back to a later trip. Like I got, still almost till October to go through this fucking thing, which is.
Well, listen, if you need someone to take them off your hands.
Oh, by all means. Sure. Jensen, J-Bone.
I'd hate to see those things get expired, man.
Tom, I'm sure, I know our boy Bobby Fairways is now an Arby's representative, but I'm sure he would dabble in a McDonald's burger or two. And, You know, I'm sure they'll get put to good use.
Sure, he will. He'd love a McDonald's burger, but he'll take the bun off. Yeah.
We'll do a lettuce wrap.
He wants the McDonald's apple pie, but no, he just wants the filling. He doesn't want the fucking
just the custard.
Yeah.
I can't do that personally. Like if I'm going to eat a burger, I'm going to eat a burger. Remember when we were at the Charlotte airport, FP? Remember how ridiculous it was? It was like the guy was eating a wedge of romaine lettuce as the bunny. It looked like a bunny rabbit. It's just like, if you're going to get the burger, just get the burger, man, or just don't do it at all. You know, that's me though. I'm not
he's trying to make the cuts where he can. I mean, it's tough.
Yeah, he wants to continue to eat the good food. But still be somewhat healthy about it. And you know what? You just got to go in one direction or the other. Down the middle is just going to bang you.
Down the middle is never going to work.
No. His new thing now, what he does is he'll like take an item of whatever food, or if it's like a chocolate bar or something, he has 2 bites and just throws it away. So he gets his fix, but he doesn't feel like he's been that gluttonous. It's really wild to watch. Like, it's pretty absurd.
Well, speaking of your new program, I think people would appreciate an update. How's that going, Joe? How's your Anaheim Ducks trainer going?
It's been really tough, but I will say I've been dialed in. I've been going to the gym multiple times a day. Nicole has been nice enough to like meal prep all my stuff, so it's been easy in the sense that I've had everything like catered to me. It's going to be a lot harder like when we go on these trips, and then I'm going to like have to find time in the day to get to the gym before we're playing a 9 a.m. round of golf, or like at the end of the night, or like how am I going to get these meals? Like, so it's going to be a lot more difficult. If I can make it through this next golf trip, like I'm going to be feeling like really good, because that's definitely going to be a challenge for me. But I feel like I do better in, I don't know how you are, FP or Jensen. I know that you train and stuff, but like when I have someone like a trainer or someone to hold me accountable, and Ticket, I know what your regimen was. You just did the air diet. You didn't eat at all. But I'm saying like when you have someone like who's holding you accountable, I feel like I do better, because I don't want to let that person down. When it just goes on me solely, I'm terrible. I don't have that kind of self-discipline normally.
No, I would totally agree. Yeah, go ahead, Jensen. Sorry.
No, I started with my friends recently. I just started doing this thing where like every meal we just send each other a picture of our meal, and then that just like keeps us accountable with each other. Of like, oh, he's eating out at 2 p.m. So that's what I started doing.
How many linguine Alfredo pictures have you sent in the last week?
Only one.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, one. Actually, the funny thing is, I actually go to the store and I get the Rayo's Alfredo.
Oh,
it's like the best. It's like the best Alfredo.
I got a couple of those up in my cabinet.
I
haven't tried it yet. I got it from like Costco. They had like a jumbo pack with like I think it was like the marinara or like the arrabbiata, and then they had the Alfredo ones too. So
I started to dabble in is Emerald. Remember the cook Emerald?
Emerald Lagasse.
Yeah, he's making a sauce now, or maybe he has been. But I started dabbling in some Emerald sauce.
Did you get a cookbook or just the sauce?
No, just the sauce. Yeah, no, I'm not a cookbook guy. I'm more of a field player.
You are.
But you do like to cook. You're pretty good.
Yeah. We've been. I make a lot of food over here. But the thing is, I don't know if you guys have heard that a lot of the city workers in Philadelphia are on strike. So there's no trash. Like right before this podcast, I had to take all of my trash and run it like 7-8 blocks away to a drop-off zone, because the city's contracting a private company to pick up the trash, because the city workers who do it once a week, they're all there's trash on every corner. It's filthier than it's ever been. So I'm trying to cook a little I'm trying to be very conscious about my trash output, because it's getting nasty.
How long have they been on strike for?
A week, and it's already terrible. Whoa. I mean, if this lasts a month,
it's too hot for that. Dude. Too hot for trash.
The streets just smell
like smell good out there. You got to smell terrible.
Good God, does it just smell like garbage everywhere?
Yeah, my block is luckily okay, but the second you turn a corner onto the next block, I mean, it is it's a garbage can drain. I
What
mean,
are
it
businesses
is
doing,
insane.
like restaurants and stuff, with the amount
I
of
don't-
garbage?
I don't know. We're in a really bad spot. We're not so good, and they
Guys,
and they
know
just
they've got the upper hand, man.
yeah. I mean, but how long can they go without pay?
Stench their way right into a higher paycheck.
Pay those
man.
men their money.
I think they need to. But anyway, to go back to it, I'm trying to be more conscious when cooking about, trying to limit my output of trash because it's getting bad.
I bet you could get a TaskRabbit for that, Pop, to come take the trash out.
I don't know. It's maybe I'll look into that.
That's actually a good one.
Yeah, it's not bad. We got a lot of questions, so we can move into that. But one more thing I think we wanted to talk about before we get there is you guys did back in Utah the 100K match for the Brian Bros channel, which just came out yesterday, or when this comes out a couple days ago. Talk about that experience.
Oh, hey, folks. I almost didn't see you there as I was wearing my polarized Shady Rays sunglasses. And speaking about Shady Rays, why not gear up for your next round with shades that are designed to cut glare? Our friends at Shady Rays have you covered with sunglasses built exclusively for golf that bring pro-level clarity. Shady Rays is a proudly independent company, but here's the best part. If your shades take a hit, don't sweat it. They've got broken protection so you're covered from day one. If you don't love your sunglasses, simply exchange them for a new pair or go ahead and return them for free. That's right, for free. Within 30 days. Go to shadyrays.com and use code BDS and receive 35% off. Again, that's shadyrays.com/BDS, 35% off. Shady Rays, bringing your golf game to the next level.
It was sick. There's not a whole lot of times where you play for a bunch of money, and I think the format was great to do like 2-man teams versus kind of each person on their own. You get a little bit of that team camaraderie in that format, a little bit of a safety net. But things tighten up a little bit when you get a bunch of money on the line. It's been a few weeks, about a month or whatever, but I definitely remember things towards the end of that skins match when there was a lot of carryovers and a lot more money coming down the line, that things got a little bit more quiet out there. I think we went to like a couple of like short game, like I think it went to that little par 3, and then we went to even to a closest to the pin at the very end. So it went right down to the wire, and I don't know. It was a lot of fun to participate in. I'll say that.
And FP, you saw your life whiz before your eyes with
Sure.
Bob almost killing you on so it was it was an interesting turn of events, to say the least. Do you remember that ball going by, or was it like?
I mean, I was sort of like on my phone. Like, that's not a good place to stand, like in general, in a golf sense. But like, it was such a short yardage that I wasn't really worried about, like him not, it's not really a full swing. It's pretty. I don't know what hang. It's pretty tough to shank from there, but he pulled it off. I mean, I could hear it. Like, when something whizzes by you, you get that like air resist. Like I could hear it, basically feel it. By the time I like looked, it was way past me. So, yeah,
it's like lightning, dude. If you hear it, it's too late. If it hits you, you're done.
Oh my, that would have been an awful way to end that video. Thankfully,
wouldn't have felt good.
Would have been an awful way
it was about head high too.
Yeah, would have been an awful way to end your life, dude.
Well, no,
Yeah.
I don't think it would have killed him, but that would have done some serious damage.
If it brained him, I mean,
If it hit me in the right spot, it could have. At least it would have. Some reconstruction would have happened. Middle of a fucking desert too. That would have been one of the weirder places to get my face caved in.
God.
Yeah.
To touch on the golf part, I know we talked about FP's near-death experience, but the golf part, I will agree, like, it's hard enough to play decent, and I think, FP, you've been in more, like, pressure moments, like tournaments and whatnot. I'm not necessarily even for money, but I think anytime you put that kind of elevated, like, kind of factor where the shots mean more, I think it adds an element of pressure. And in this case, it wasn't a tournament that we were playing on, but it was for a lot of money. So you start to think over your shots. The putts, I would say, are what are the most affected, because your shot is your shot, right? Like, but when you're reading lines, you're trying to get putts to drop. That's where it's the most frustrating, especially when when you're putting decently, but then all of a sudden, you're not seeing them go in, and it's like, oh my God, what's going on? That's where, to me, it's kind of mentally makes it even harder than just to play a regular round of golf, which makes sense. But I haven't had a lot of opportunities. Me and Bob, I've never really been in a position where we had to deal with that. So it was kind of like even more so in a regular round of golf. Normally I have a roller coaster of emotions, but it really was. It was like an up and down. Then we won a hole. So it was like you felt like a weight was off your shoulders. And like George and I, it took us the longest to win a skin. So it felt like at one point, like we wouldn't even be able to do it. So it was really cool to experience. And, I think the pairings made it fun because, you have good. I mean, Wesley, I think, shot like 8 under. I mean, he was unbelievable that round. So it was well paired because it did come down to the final hole, the final couple shots. So it turned out awesome.
Yeah, Jensen and I were actually playing behind you guys while you guys were filming that. And at one point, I don't know, maybe it was hole 5 or hole 6 or something. One of their guys, Joe, drives back and he's talking to me. And he's like, yeah, Joe is losing his shit. Because you, at that point, I guess you hadn't won a skin. I didn't know what was going on, but he was like, you hadn't won a skin and you were just livid. That you were
during the match. There was like, I think they used, not to bang Bob because I was also terrible that round, but I think they used 1 putt of Bob's the entire round. Which, I mean, listen, Wesley shot 8 under, so it makes sense.
They certainly didn't use that wedge shot that almost.
No, they did not. But I think there was a point in the match where Wesley had been playing so well. He was so automatic that he hit a drive that was like quite wayward, like off. And Bob had gone OB, so it was like, finally, it's going to open up an opportunity for someone else. And instead of it being OB, it hit the rocks, the lava rocks, and bounced back and was almost on the green. So that was frustrating because when you're watching a guy like play lights out like that, and you finally see him make not a good shot and still end up perfect, it's like, what do we got to do here? And then it happened again a few holes later. And then at that point, I was just like, what the fuck's going on here, man? And you know how Bob gets and Wesley get when like things are going well, like they were rubbing salt into the wound. So I was salty about it, man, because it was just like, what do we got to do? And it seemed like every time that they did slip up, FP and Grant were like right there like vultures to win another hole. So it was tough. It was tough. I haven't watched it yet, but I read through the comments, and like I'd say 70% of the comments are just about me bitching over the lava love. I was not happy about it.
Was Bob talking some shit?
Oh, yeah.
Really?
You know how Bob's like, boom, baby.
Yeah.
You gotta love it. And the guy hadn't made a shot, and he's just getting 10G, 5G, 10G. And I'm like, yo, what the fuck are we doing here, man?
And he's doing nothing.
Oh, and then he'd be like, that's my partner. You gotta love it. And you know how he gets very animated? And I get it. I mean, it was like, every hole was for like a lot of money, and if it carried over, it'd be double or triple the amount.
I feel like I remember them like planning like vacations with their like significant others, and like they progressively got nicer and nicer as they won skins. Like,
that's
awesome. Hawaii, move over Hawaii. We're going to Italy, boys.
Yeah,
like little stuff like that. It was just like, all right,
villas now.
These guys are feeling themselves now. They were upgrading from coach to first class flights when they'd win skins. It was a whole thing.
You and Grant played very well too, FP. Like I remember, like there were times where like if Wesley did screw up, like you and Grant were right there. You guys played like a very good yin and yang, like ham and egg kind of style. That whole trip, I think you played very well.
Yeah, for the most part, I played pretty decent. Yeah, I thought a couple rounds here and there that weren't good. I don't think there was like a 2v1 that we played that I don't think's out yet. But yeah, it was. I mean, look, it's nice to hit in front of Grant Horvat, right? I mean, to have that guy behind you as a safety net with shots to be able to take. It's a good feeling. Can swing pretty free at that point.
Something you're not used to doing with Perez Island normally on the bar.
No, it's a nice change of pace.
Were you
Instead
hitting?
of-
Were you hitting second behind Grant?
No,
I
When
was
you-
hit
when you go
first in front of
no, I was
Grant.
hitting first. for
Yeah.
sure.
Okay. That's what I figured. Yeah. All right, boys. Well, do we want to jump into some questions here? Want to do it?
Let's do it.
All right. First question comes from Crash Chris. What is each player's tipping point of drinks consumed that equals poor play? How many drinks before you start playing like shit?
Some would argue it doesn't take any from me. Some would say my game's already shit. I would say for me, once you get to like that 7 mark, that's when you start really feeling like 6, 7, you start feeling the effects and the swing starts coming a little unhinged and, you know, it starts getting a little loopy out there. It also depends what you're putting back. If you're drinking Habit Days or beer, it might be a little bit more, but like fireball shots, once you hit like 5, 6, I think that's kind of good night Irene territory. I know what you think, FP.
I'm a 2 and done.
Two and done.
Ew.
I've seen some DMs and some comments of people wanting like me and Jet to do, or all 3 of us in production, but me and Jet to do like get in the drinking challenges, and I'm just like, dude, I'm 5'6", 150 pounds. If I drank 9 beers in 2 hours, I might actually die.
I don't think you would
Thanks.
die. I think you'd be okay.
Guy only drinks at the
think?
sim, dude.
Good point. Meet him in the sim, dude. He'll drink there.
If you drank how you hit your irons, you would just shotgun every beer.
Hey, look, I'm in a great spot with my irons right now, actually. So
Oh,
if
okay.
we get out there in Missouri, I'll hit it
Well,
pretty
I'm going
good.
to tell you right now, we're not going to have any Mavericks, so I don't want to hear it. There'll be no Mavericks played in Missouri.
No.
Is it true that the Mavericks are lobbed one up from each? Like a 6 iron is really a 7 iron?
I mean, I think they like any of those like game improvement irons that any company has, like they're going to be a little strong lofted. So yeah, 6
Gotcha.
irons more like a 5 iron, 5 irons more like a 4 iron.
Gotcha.
They're made to like help you hit it further and hit it better.
Gotcha.
I start with this. Well, I used to start with a 6, but I just have a 7 now, 7 through 9, and then pitching wedge.
What do you
But
have? What do you
That's
have
all he
above
needs,
that?
dude. He hits that 7
I have-
250.
I have 250. I have a 7 wood and a 3 hybrid and a 3 wood, I think. I used to have a 6 iron, but I accidentally stepped on it. So
Huh. Do you not have 14 clubs currently?
I have some. I think I do. I think
That's
I do.
why
I'll
he
have
has to
check.
hit the 7 and the 8
But
so
I have
hard
3
because he has no
wedges.
6.
I have 3 wedges. I run a 50, a 56, and a 60, and then a 7 wood, a 3 hybrid, and a 3 wood, and then a driver.
You jump from a 50-degree wedge
7,
to a
8,
7
9
to a
putter
And a
a
pitching
9?
wedge. Sorry,
pitching wedge. You have 13 clubs.
Oh yeah, I could do.
Wow.
Well, there we go. I stepped on my 6.
You know
It's
what
done.
I just got from Callaway? I'm excited. I'm going to put in the bag for the trip. Is I got one of the mini drivers.
Oh, that's
I'm going to
sick.
see how that's fun. Yeah, I'm gonna try to rip that around and see. The 3 wood I'm hitting pretty solid, but I think that mini driver looks so cool. I got to try it out.
I've heard good
looks-
things.
The fact you can hit it off the deck too, it's pretty awesome.
You can hit any club off the deck.
No, I'm not good hitting the driver off the deck. I'm pretty shit.
All right. Okay. Let's move on to the next question. The next one comes from Jake Borghese. This is a fun one. Start, bench, cut. Jeremy Shockey, Antonio Gates, and Jason Witt.
I don't know any of those guys.
Sure.
Well, we figured you don't really know ball, so we'll keep that.
What is it?
Start, bench, and cut.
Yep. Jeremy Shockey, Antonio Gates, and Jason Witt.
Well, you got to start Antonio Gates. I mean, he's
Sure.
one of the greatest to
Yeah.
ever do it, I think. Jason Witten was good for a long time, man. So I'd have him on the bench and I'd cut Shockey. Shockey was a bit of a wild card, man. Like he would be really good when he was good, but then there'd be times where he was just nowhere to be found. And I feel like Witten for probably a span of about 5 years or so was pretty fucking dialed.
Yeah, at least 5 years. I mean, I don't think that's an indictment on Jeremy Shockey. I think you just got 2 of the best tight ends of all time. I mean, it's, like you said, Antonio Gates is a touchdown machine freak, and Jason Witten's just consistent as hell. So I don't know how you can cut that guy. I think that's just a tough break for Shockey there.
Antonio
It really is. It's like he had no shot.
I'd make the argument Antonio Gates was like the Travis Kelce of the early 2000s, like, but even better. Like he was a guy who was like he should have been like a wide receiver one. He was like the first target for Phillip Rivers almost always when he wasn't handing the ball off to LT.
What does that shirt say? The place where fresh is what?
Subway.
Where fresh is the taste.
Fresh is the taste, Pop.
Always has been.
Yeah, I don't make the rules.
It's never not been the taste. All right, let's move on to the next question. This one comes from Go Brett. Would y'all ever come to Louisiana to play golf and eat some good Cajun cuisine?
Oh, yeah. I love Cajun.
Yeah. Any good
Little
courses down
broil,
there?
dude. There's where they play the Zurich, TPC New
Louisiana.
Orleans, maybe. There's one there's a good one in New Orleans called it's an old school course. Starts with an M, like Montclair or Monterre, maybe something like that. There's some decent golf. I mean, it's not necessarily known for its golf. It's possible that Robert Trent Jones Golf Trail in Alabama might have a course or two in Louisiana. I don't know the answer to that. I might be making that up. But they definitely have some good food, dude.
Oh,
crawfish, little sausage, one of those little boils, those little crawfish broils.
Oh,
shrimps, the andouille sausage.
Yeah.
Potatoes.
Good,
yeah,
man.
dude. Fuck me.
Well, the beignets look amazing too. No, like
beignets, sure.
I've never been to Louisiana or New Orleans, so I think that would be a lot of fun just because it's such a historically rich culture and like scene. I feel like it's one of the places in the U.S. that most people would have circled like as a place to go. So to go there for a trip, I think the behind the scenes, I think the culture, like the Southern draw of the place itself would be awesome. Maybe we go during like football season. We go to like Go Tigers, go to an LSU game. I mean, that would be awesome.
Get you guys walking down the French Quarter. Get yourself some beignets. Yeah, home of Sam. Home of Sam as well. Callaway, Sam Burns.
Oh yeah. Sam Burns,
he's a Louisiana guy.
Yeah.
Probably best to stay away from there in the summer. I hear it's hot as shit.
It is very hot.
Sure.
Garden District's nice. Everybody talks about Bourbon Street, which you got to see, but the Garden District's great. I've been to Mardi Gras a couple times.
What's that like?
Yeah, it's great. I've had more fun there outside of Mardi Gras. Mardi Gras gets a little crazy. I used to go there twice a year for work in like June and November. It was awesome.
November would be would be a great time to be there.
Yeah. I mean, even Missouri, the Ozarks, this coming week, it's going to be hot. It's going to be a real hot one.
Yeah, Pop's got to get ready with that sunscreen, man.
I'm packing some extra sweatshirts, dude. Just protect me from the sun.
Get it out, dude.
Yeah. All right, let's move on to the next one. This one comes from Josh Tunicliffe. Top 3 countries you'd love to golf in.
Top 3 countries.
Probably Ireland might be one for me right now. Then let's go like New Zealand too.
Wow.
Which might be crazy, but I'm feeling it right now. And then 3, I guess like Australia.
Is it places we haven't been yet, Pop? Is that the question? Or just
I mean, I suppose so. He didn't really specify. Yeah. Just top 3 countries you'd love to golf in.
I'll go with Scotland. I mean, we were there. I think that's the birthplace of golf. And the great thing about it is there's so many courses we didn't even play, and we played some of the best. So I'd love to run that back at some point. I would throw Ireland up there as well, just because we've never done it. And people tell me if you like Scotland, Ireland's even better. So I feel like that would be awesome. And I'll throw in, I mean, I feel like we've golfed a lot in the US, but I'll throw in Canada. I feel like there's still a lot of spots like Cabot Cliffs, on the East Coast, or like Banff and Jasper, you know, in the Rockies that we haven't been yet, that I'd love to take the guys and experience. I'm really going to try to make a push to do Cabot at some time. I think that would be another incredible trip for us. And I've had some discussions with them in the past. But yeah, I'll do Scotland, Ireland, and then I'll throw Canada in the mix.
Okay. You know what looks pretty dope is Japan.
Yeah.
I was going to say that.
Yeah.
Really?
That was my three.
Well, I got some
That
cool
was your
spots.
three? All right, give me your three. So you got Japan.
Yeah, I like Ireland and Canada as well. Ireland just
Okay.
looks unreal, but Canada, some of those mountain courses, man. Just because I'm from Florida, I grew up here my whole life. I'm like, mountains are pretty foreign to me, and then especially mountains with like snow and just crazy stuff on them like that. Like, I don't know. I just feel like golfing with a giant mountain behind you has got to be
It's
one of the
pretty
coolest
sick,
views
man.
of all time.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
weren't
what-
with us for the Vancouver trip, unfortunately, because that
I
with
know.
Whistler was pretty awesome to see. And I know, Pop, you really liked it out there too.
Yeah, that one course was tremendous. I mean, they were all great, but that one course with
Big
the
Sky?
was that Big Sky? Yeah,
Big
that
Sky
was
is tight.
unbelievable. What's the golf like in Switzerland? That's I'm just listing places I want to go and hoping that the golf's good there.
I mean,
I
I'm
played
sure
a
they
little
have
bit.
some, but I don't think it's a
It's
lot.
not like I
Gotcha.
played a couple times I was there, but I never really dabbled too much in it. But it's a beautiful country.
Sure is. All right, let's rip two more and then we'll get out of here. Next one comes from Rice Giadam. Favorite YouTube golfer to watch and play with, and it's a two-parter. Favorite course you've played?
Two-parter.
So,
Joseph?
I mean, I'm gonna go with Grant. I think outside of what we're doing, obviously I'm always gonna stick up for our crew first and foremost, but he's been pretty groundbreaking what he's been able to do now, his series with Phil and what they're doing. I think they have a video right now that's like number one on all of YouTube. That's wild. But he's just a great dude, just a very nice guy. I feel like anytime I play with him, I try to like elevate my game because he's so much better. Like you want to try to keep up, but he's also just a nice guy. I mean, I feel like he flames Bob a lot, but like to us, he's really nice. And then I would put, I was kind of going through my top courses that I played. I was like listing them, and I gotta shout out a course. It's a revolving door of like a few different ones for my top course, but I'm gonna put Bandon Trails up there because I remember just like how serene, how peaceful, how beautiful it was. I mean, aside from my meltdown that I had on 17 on that one hole, but just it was like so epic, so beautiful, and just I just loved it. We played Twilight during sunset. I think that place, if you've never played it, that place should be a must play for everybody.
FP?
Yeah, it's hard to. Bandon Trails is really good. We had an awesome day out there. Not on the water, but super underrated. I think. I mean, Grant's great. That's an obvious answer. I think anybody would be right to say that. I'll go with Wesley. I'll throw him in the mix. Great golfer, funny dude. Just has the right vibe for the golf course, especially for YouTube. I think he doesn't take it too seriously. Not that Grant does, but Wesley certainly doesn't. Gets the right amount of shit talking going, and he can back it up. So I'll take Wesley. Man, the best course I've ever played. It's probably it's tough between Marion and Oakmont. Played them
They're
both
awesome spots.
recently within the same week, which was crazy. I still like Marion a lot. I just something about Philly golf that I love, and small ballpark, and just still a tough test. All the history. Oakmont's got all that too, so it's tough to say, but I'll just give Marion the slight edge for me for now.
Okay. You didn't find it wasn't too frustrating of a course, Oakmont?
I have enough. I don't know. Like I can separate my play from the like how the golf course is. Like when it comes to that, like I can separate. You can also, that goes the other way. Like if I play really well on a golf course, it doesn't mean it's now one of my favorite golf courses. Like I can evaluate it on a golf course level, and so that I mean, it's hard as hell. It's the hardest golf course I've ever played, no doubt about it. But I enjoyed every second of it.
Yeah. Punta Espada was pretty
Oh,
outstanding.
that was
too.
that was nice.
Just a devastating place to play with the wind there, but it's just one of the most beautiful places we've ever been. And yeah, Bandit. We've gotten to go to some pretty great places. All right, let's do one more and then get out of here. I'm going to start with you, Jensen, on this one. Brock Gorel wants to know best fast food milkshake. Your best fast food.
Good
milkshake.
cue.
That's a really good question.
It's tough because of the availability, but Bojangles has really good milkshakes. I live dangerously close to a Bojangles as far as my weight, but they've gone there a couple times and they're really good.
This guy's 150 and talking about his weight. How cute is that?
Yeah. Dangerous, huh?
I've never had the Bojangles milkshake.
I have not either. Now you have my intrigue.
Yeah.
Come up to Orlando. I'll show you.
No. I'll have to do that.
Joey D, what do you think?
McDonald's traditionally has a really good milkshake. I think, I also think
work.
In-N-Out, if you've ever had it, it's also good. I don't know if you classify In-N-Out as a fast food, but both them and Shake Shack have very good. But I'm going to go with old reliable McDonald's. I just think that that's probably when I don't really order a milkshake too often when I'm getting a meal because I already feel like a badass. And then you get the milkshake on top of that. And it's just like doubling down essentially. But I've had more milkshakes at McDonald's than anywhere else. And I think just their traditional vanilla shake is great. I do think if a place has a malt shake, I think it's instrumentally better. I think the malt, I don't know what it is, but the malt makes it so much better than just a regular vanilla.
Checks out.
Yeah.
Take Chick-fil-A.
Yeah, that's a good
Chick-fil-A's got a great milkshake.
Sure does.
Yeah.
Their strawberry milkshake is.
And that's the only way I'm
That's
going.
the way
I'm going
to go.
strawberry. Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't need the whipped cream though. You can hold that.
Really?
Cherry.
You're ditching
Yeah, I don't need whipped cream. I don't
okay.
need it.
All right.
You
Fair enough.
What about the cherry?
Nah.
Cherry.
I can't get it through the straw. I mean, what am I gonna do?
That's fair. I understand the cherry. The whipped cream, I'm surprised by.
Whipped cream's good.
It is.
Yeah, sure is. Sonic is pretty good too.
Yeah.
I might get some hate for that, but Sonic is a good one. But yeah, I'd probably go with Chick-fil-A too. It's just unreal.
They did a thing. There was one Sonic shake that they have out there now. It's like some strawberry cheesecake something. Apparently has like the equivalent of like 30 cups of sugar in it. It's just like the guy measured it out and it's like if you have like a glass like this, I think like this much of the glass is like filled with sugar. It's insane.
Really good.
So maybe an X Sonic off the list there,
That
Pop.
sounds nice.
Okay, fair enough. Maybe that'll be the last time. Because you know what, Sonic does nothing else that great. The only thing I really liked was the milkshakes.
Their ice cream's
but it's
good.
good.
Yeah.
If it's the only game in town, I'll go to it. But I'm not ever craving like a Sonic burger or their chicken tenders or anything. So now I might just take it off the menu.
Yeah, I've forever said that it's one of the more disappointing stories in the fast food game because they've got the menu. Like if they can execute on the menu that they have one of the best things out there. Just such a range of items. It's never that good, and it often makes me feel very bad. It hurts me in the end, and I know it now. Like I know enough that I won't let it happen again. But there were times where I've forgotten, and it smokes me.
They invested too heavily in those roller skates.
Sure. Yeah.
I think
and
they got
you're
rid
going
of
to have it on the road. You're having it in a situation where you can't feel that way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I saw a guy a long time ago. I don't think they're doing the roller skate thing anymore.
Are they not?
But they used to. And I saw there was this guy who clearly had just started there, and he had a massive tray of it was drinks. It was bring out the drinks first and the food later. And he just wiped out and spilled the drinks all over this guy's car. I mean, the guy was.
Did you guys see when we were at the Texas Roadhouse the other day? That server who spilled all the waters all over those people at that table across from us. That was tough.
I've been there.
I could see you spilling a whole bunch of shit there.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
But I used to work at Topgolf, and I first started out as a drink runner, and it's tough when you've never done it before.
Sure.
You
Yeah.
spilled on someone?
Yeah, a couple times.
And then that's when they moved you to a different department. That's
No,
that's
I
when they-
stayed there. It was just my first time, this first day.
Okay. All right, boys. Well, let's wrap this thing up. No Bob, unfortunately. He'll be back next time. Binyamin for all of 30 seconds. We'll see what Jensen can do with that audio. But good one. Big Cedar Lodge coming up this week. Looking forward to it. See you all then. And as far as the Bob to Sports podcast, we will see everybody next time.
Please subscribe.